evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching News at 10. I'm Brendan Paul, making the headlines tonight. Tan Sri Muhyiddin to face multiple charges in court tomorrow. And also immediate attention to be given on urban poverty and congestion. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has confirmed that former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin has been arrested today. However, Tan Sri Muhyiddin was released on MACC bail at 8:20 p.m. and will be required to attend court to face charges at the Kuala Lumpur court tomorrow. MACC said it arrested Tan Sri Muhyiddin at 1 p.m. after recording his statement at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya to complete the final investigation process regarding the Jana Wibawa program and related issues. MACC in a statement today said it had obtained consent from the Attorney General's chambers to charge the Paguh Member of Parliament and Bersatu President. According to the statement, Tan Sri Muhyiddin will be slapped with several charges under the MACC Act 2009 and Section 4, Subsection 1, Subsection B of the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. MACC had earlier frozen the accounts of Bersatu and charged several individuals, including former Bersatu Information Chief Datuk Wan Saiful Wan Jan and Segambut Bersatu Division Deputy Chief Adam Ratlan Adam Muhammad in court in connection with Jana Wibawa projects to help Bumiputra contractors. In a related development, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim stressed that he does not interfere with any actions taken by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC against former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. Datuk Seri Anwar denied the allegations that the investigation conducted by the MACC on Tan Sri Muhyiddin was politically motivated.
Belum tahu apa keputusan setakat ini, hanya dipanggil. Tetapi untuk mengatakan semua kes yang kita ambil itu ada motif politik, maknanya tak boleh lah, maknanya tangkap. Mana kes-kes rasuah lain yang besar-besar semua lepas. Tapi saya nak tegaskan di sini, semua orang yang mahu negara ini bersih dari rasuah harus lihat kes satu persatu sama ada benar ada pendakwaan politik yang disebut ataupun berdasarkan fakta.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister wants immediate attention to be given on poverty and congestion, as well as town planning issues in urban areas. Datuk Seri Anwar said town planning should be balanced between development and the welfare of the people, in line with the Malaysia Madani concept.
Maka kita lihat umpamanya keadaan tidak terkawal dan lebih parah bila ada kesenjangan, ya. Kerana kota juga menzahirkan kawasan sesak, kawasan miskin bandar yang disebut slums. Maknanya perancangan kita ada kelemahannya. Kita bangunkan bangunan yang sergam indah, projek-projek mega, kerana itu perlu untuk membangunkan. Tetapi kita lupa bahawa yang bekerja itu juga memerlukan perumahan. Jadi perumahan ketinggalan. Jadi akhirnya bila nak bangunkan perumahan, kos sudah meningkat, kos tanah melambung tinggi. Jadi sebab itu perancangan dari kota-kota besar ini sangat penting.
The Prime Minister also reminded the local authorities to be responsible for preparing adequate facilities and beautifying hawker areas for all Malaysians so that they can enjoy the comfort of proper facilities. And on another note, Dr. Sri Anwar revealed that the government has agreed to implement phase 2 of the assessment tax cut in Putrajaya, amounting to 5% for strata-titled residences apart from affordable houses and 20% for terrace houses beginning 1st July this year. He said the assessment discount applies to residential units built after 2017, with the reduction to be based on the total tax imposed. Dato Sri Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, in a statement said the tax reduction offer involves almost 2,700 units of residences with strata titles, and the new rate will stay until a reassessment is done by Putrajaya Corporation. He added he listened to complaints from property owners that the assessment rate imposed on their residential premises is quite high compared to that in surrounding areas. The discount is in line with the Malaysia Madani aspiration via the compassion element, which is extended to a wider segment to ease the people's burden in dealing with the cost of living issues, especially among the M40 group. Earlier, all residential units priced below 300,000 ringgit in Putrajaya had been given a 30% discount in assessment, effective from the 1st of January this year until a reassessment is done by Putrajaya Corporation. The government has yet to finalise the possibility of Good and Service Tax GST re-implementation in the future. Deputy Finance Minister Dato Sri Ahmad Mazlan said the government is still studying the impact of GST on the current economic situation and at the same time looking at the appropriate time to reintroduce it to uplift the country's revenue stream.
GST boleh jadi cukai yang progresif jika kita mengenakan kadar sifar kepada barangan yang diguna oleh orang B40 ya. Oleh itu kita masih lagi mengkaji, menilai bilakah masa yang sesuai. Kita masih lagi tidak menoktahkan GST ini. Itu setakat itu yang saya boleh nyatakan. Cuma pada tahun ini dia tidak akan dilaksanakan.
GST has been used by 90% of the countries worldwide, including countries that impose value-added tax VAT. However, Dato Sri Ahmad said GST implementation should be studied thoroughly first so that it will help the B40 and M40 groups. The Monetary Policy Committee MPC of Bank Negara Malaysia BNM has decided to maintain the overnight policy rate OPR at 2.75% at its meeting today. The MPC said that in the global economy there were some positive developments with the reopening of China's economy and better than expected growth outturns in major economies supported by resilient domestic demand. It stressed that at the current OPR level, the stance of monetary policy remains accommodative and supportive of economic growth. The MPC would also continue to assess the impact of the cumulative OPR adjustments, given the lag effects of monetary policy on the economy. After the strong performance in 2022, it said, the economy is expected to moderate in 2023 amid a slower global economy. Growth will remain driven by domestic demand and household spending, will be underpinned by sustained improvements in employment and income prospects. The MPC also remains vigilant to cost factors, including those arising from financial market developments that could affect the inflation outlook. The MPC said it would continue to calibrate the monetary policy settings that balance the risks to domestic inflation and sustainable growth. Still ahead, large-scale padi estates to be developed in Sabah and Sarawak. Stay with us. The Ministry of Rural and Regional Development through Felkra Berhad will develop large-scale padi estates in Sabah and Sarawak to address the issue of national food security. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said it involved the Kota Belud and Kota Marudu parliamentary constituencies in Sabah as well as the Sri Aman parliamentary constituency in Sarawak with an area of between 15,000 and 20,000 hectares.
InsyaAllah kita akan rundingkan agar tambahan kira-kira 15,000 hingga 20,000 hektar estet padi akan kita kita akan buka tanpa menghilangkan hak milik tanah kerajaan negeri dan hak milik individu, dan kita lakukan sebagaimana yang telah berjaya dilaksanakan di Parlimen Pasir Salak yang dikenali sebagai estate padi seberang Perak. Saya telah meminta supaya sebuah jawatankuasa teknikal di peringkat kementerian dan kerajaan negeri digerakkan sepenuhnya mulai daripada 2 hari yang lalu dan semalam di Sabah untuk memberikan beberapa input kepada pihak kementerian.
Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, who is also Rural and Regional Development Minister, also expressed his appreciation to both state governments for the high commitment shown to enable the initiative to be realised. Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadzil stressed today that he will not entertain any form of lobbying in the implementation of 5G in Malaysia, regardless of whether they were based on foreign or local media reports. He said for now, evaluation, discussion and research are being done regarding the direction of the 5G implementation, and the ministry will not be affected by any lobbying efforts to secure network implementation contracts.
Masih ada beberapa perkara yang perlu diperhalusi, diperinci, ditelusuri, diteliti sebelum keputusan mengenai hala tuju pelaksanaan 5G dapat dicapai. Kerajaan insya-Allah dijangka membuat keputusan muktamad mengenai pelaksanaan rangkaian 5G ini menjelang hujung Mac 2023.
When winding up the Supply Bill 2023 debate at Dewan Rakyat, he said since the discussion process and engagement session on the matter between the Ministry and telecommunication companies, Digital Nasional Berhad and Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission began, transparency aspects in the implementation of the project could be translated more effectively. Cyberjaya Hospital has the potential to become a primary responding hospital to handle disasters at the country's entry points, such as Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, and KLIA-2. Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa said this is due to the strategic location of Cyberjaya Hospital. She said the Sepang International Circuit and Cyberjaya Silicon Valley in the Sepang district could also benefit from the hospital's health services. Accordingly, she said, the Health Ministry is looking into providing a magnetic resonance imaging MRI machine to Cyberjaya Hospital to meet current needs and to prepare it to handle disasters at KLIA. She said this in a speech read out by her deputy, Lukanisman Awang Sauni.
Saya juga ingin mengumumkan KKM sedang meneliti keperluan untuk menyediakan sebuah mesin MIR di Hospital Cyberjaya untuk menampung keperluan semasa serta peranan hospital ini sebagai hospital rujukan bagi sebarang kejadian bencana KLIA dalam memastikan perkhidmatan kesihatan dilaksanakan sebaik mungkin.
Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, officiated Cyberjaya Hospital today, which was built at a cost of 508.8 million ringgit. The 9-storey hospital is a major specialist hospital that provides advanced specialist services. It has 8 operating theatres, 10 delivery rooms, and 288 beds. A total of 93,740 litres of subsidised diesel valued at 283,375 ringgit was seized by the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living (KBDN) within a week after Optiris was launched on 1st March. KBDN Deputy Director of Enforcement Prevention Aris Mamat said that for the same period, 21 cases of diesel misappropriation from 168 operations and raids across the country were detected. He said Sarawak recorded the highest number with 5 cases, followed by 4 in Negeri Sembilan.
Yang ni ketirisan ni dia berlaku di banyak peringkat lah, di peringkat sama ada di peringkat stesen minyak dia buat modus operandi ataupun melalui pemborong semualah banyak peringkat ketirisan tu berlaku. Bukan setakat kata pembelian oleh warga asing di stesen minyak, ada lagi perkara lain lah yang berlaku.
He added these culprits use regular vehicles such as cars and lorries to fill and store the diesel to avoid detection by the authorities. He said this to reporters after a special inspection at the Pangkalan Hulu Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex near Gerik today. RS said cheap prices and easy supply of diesel were among the main factors in an increase in its demand from industries. The operation will run until 31st August to curb diesel subsidy leakages. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim, when tabling Budget 2023, said the misappropriation of subsidised diesel was estimated at almost 10 billion ringgit last year. And in other news, a contract worker pleaded not guilty in the Georgetown Sessions Court today to a charge of attempting to murder a police lance corporal last week. S. Ramesh, 33, made the plea after the charge against him was read out before Judge Muhammad Khalid Abdul Karim. He was charged under Section 307 of the Penal Code for attempting to murder Muhammad Azril Shamil Muhammad Hanafi at 12:15 a.m. on 1st March. Deputy Public Prosecutor Lim Jin Hong did not offer any bail, saying that the offence was serious. The accused, who was unrepresented, however, pleaded for minimum bail. It was reported that the accused was arrested at a flat in Ai Itam for injuring a policeman with a knife. The victim, 29, after encountering the accused near a roadblock, was made aware that the suspect did not have a license. During checks, the suspect acted aggressively and slashed the victim with a knife, which he took from a house near where he was stopped. The court allowed 5,000 ringgit bail in one surety and ordered the accused to stay away from the victim and must report himself to the nearest police station every month. 11th of April has been set for mention of the case. As Bangkok chokes on pollution. That and more coming up in our foreign segment. Stay with us. Nearly 200,000 people in Thailand have been admitted to hospital because of air pollution this week, with Bangkok shrouded in a harmful haze. The Thai capital, home to an estimated 11 million people and one of the world's most popular tourist destinations, has been blanketed for days by an unpleasant yellow-grey mix of vehicle fumes, industrial emissions and smoke from agricultural burning. According to the Public Health Ministry, more than 1.3 million people have fallen sick in the kingdom since the start of the year as a result of air pollution, with nearly 200,000 admitted to hospital this week alone. Children and pregnant women have been urged to stay indoors, while anyone going outside should wear a high-quality N95 anti-pollution mask. During another pollution peak in late January and early February, city authorities urged people to work from home. A spokesman for Bangkok governor said they would not hesitate to issue another similar order if the situation got worse. The Public Health Ministry said 50 districts in Bangkok yesterday recorded unsafe levels of the most dangerous particulate matter, 2.5 particles, so tiny they can enter the bloodstream, while today they remained well above the World Health Organization's guidelines. 3 Palestinians were shot dead by Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank today, with an Israeli official saying they had opened fire first. The Palestinian ministry announced the deaths of 3 men shot by Israeli forces in Jabba, near the flashpoint northern city of Jenin. Israeli police said special forces accompanied by soldiers had been in Jabba to arrest suspects involved in shooting attacks against soldiers in the area. They said the Palestinian had opened fire from their car when Israeli forces entered the area. According to the owner of a local garage near to where the incident took place, security forces confiscated his security camera and erased pictures of his mobile telephone. The operation came days after Israeli forces raided a refugee camp in Jenin and killed 6 Palestinians. Israeli forces have conducted nearly daily raids across the West Bank for months, making thousands of arrests and killing more than 200 Palestinians, including both fighters and civilians. Russian missiles knocked out the power supply to Europe's largest nuclear plant during a barrage of strikes targeting cities across Ukraine, while Ukrainian defenders repelled fierce assaults on the beleaguered town of Bakhmut. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which Russian forces captured a year ago, was left depending on backup generators after Russian missiles damaged Ukrainian infrastructure that had been delivering electricity to the plant. Ukrainian state power company Energoatom said the 5th and 6th reactors have been shut down and electric power needed for the plant's functioning is supplied by 18 diesel generators, which have enough fuel for 10 days. An aide to Ukrainian president said explosions have been recorded in most regions with infrastructure facilities and residential areas have been hit, causing parts of Ukraine losing the supply of electricity and water. Ukraine's military also said Russian forces were attacking the mining town of Bakhmut and other eastern towns. Russia has had no significant battleground victory for months and set its sights on Bakhmut last August. The fighting there has been some of the bloodiest since the invasion of Ukraine in February last year. And next up in sports, Indonesia jails 2 football match officials over deadly soccer stampede. Stay with us. But first, more than 2,500 people from 21 countries are expected to participate in the 2023 OCBC Cycle Kuala Lumpur KL cycling event. Its implementation committee chairman Dato' Naim Mohamad said the number of participation is the highest ever recorded since 2015. The event will be divided into 2 categories, the 21-kilometre and 42-kilometre rides. In addition, a new corporate category will also be introduced, namely the 42-kilometre KL's Mayor Ride for teams of 10 riders per group. Dato' Naim said the participants include those from Singapore, China, United States and Italy.
Kali ini penyertaan memang amat menggalakkan dan kita ucapkan terima kasihlah kepada mereka yang telah turut serta. Mungkin dia nak lepaskan gian selepas pandemik ni kan.
On another note, a total of 18 main roads around the capital city will be closed for the cycling event on 12 March. The closure of the roads will be carried out in stages from 6:30 a.m. until the end of the ride at 10 a.m. The routes involved include Jalan Raja Laut, Jalan Perak and Jalan Dang Wangi. An Indonesian court handed prison sentences to 2 soccer match officials today after finding them guilty of negligence over one of the world's deadliest stadium stampedes. The October 2022 derby match in Malang, East Java, between Arema FC and Persebaya Surabaya ended in chaos with 135 spectators killed. Many crushed as they fled for exits after police fired tear gas into the crowd. One match official, Abdul Haris, was found guilty due to his negligence causing people to die and get severely injured. He was sentenced to a year and a half imprisoned. The judges also found security officer Suko Sutrisno guilty of negligence and jailed him for 1 year. Both Met officials' representatives said they would study the ruling before attempting the next legal steps. 3 police officers are also charged with the same offences and their cases will be decided at a later date. The former director of the company that runs Indonesia's Premier League has been named as a suspect and remains under police investigation. An investigation by Indonesia's Human Rights Commission found the main cause of the stampede was police firing into the crowd 45 rounds of tear gas, which soccer's world governing body FIFA has banned as a crowd control measure. In European football, Paris Saint-Germain coach Christophe Galtier admitted the French side had no option but to accept their latest early Champions League exit and move on, although insisted the outcome of the last 16 tie against Bayern Munich would have been different had the visitors scored first in the second leg.
Et évidemment que l'objectif était d'ouvrir le score pour à la fois nous galvaniser, mais aussi peut-être, je dis bien peut-être, mettre le doute du côté du Bayern. Malheureusement, à partir du moment où le Bayern a marqué, évidemment, on a compris que ça allait être très difficile.
PSG lost 2-0 to Bayern in Germany to lose the tie 3-0 on aggregate. The Liga A leaders, who were looking to overturn a 1-0 deficit from the first leg last month, have now gone out of the Champions League in the first knockout round in 5 of the last 7 seasons. Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting and Serge Gnabry scored second-half goals at the Allianz Arena for Bayern, who were worthy winners against a flat PSG side. Neither Kylian Mbappe nor Lionel Messi had the expected impact on the game for the visitors, while Neymar was missing with an ankle injury. Meanwhile, Antonio Conte said Tottenham still need time to become a European force after bowing out in the last 16 of the Champions League, 1-0 on aggregate to AC Milan after a goalless draw early today.
The reality that we are out from FA Cup and now from Champions League, and what I can say you that we are working to try to improve and to go step by step.
Conte was back in charge after taking more time after the first leg to recover from gallbladder surgery. However, Conte's return to the touchline failed to inspire a response from his side as Tottenham were toothless in attack and had to play the final 12 minutes a man down as Christian Romero was sent off for 2 bookable offences. Tottenham have now won just 2 of their last 7 games, including defeat to second-tier Sheffield United in the FA Cup. A European elimination hot on the heels of an exit from the FA Cup means Spurs' 15-year wait to win a trophy will extend for at least another season. A victory over 2 legs takes Milan into the quarterfinals for the first time since 2012. Moving on to tennis, Brendan Nakashima knocked John Isner out of the Indian Wells Masters in the first round with a 7-6, 6-3 victory today. Now, Nakashima saved set points in the first before pushing through in the second, breaking his compatriot's powerful serve. Nakashima, who earned opening round wins in Indian Wells in 2021 and 2022, saved 1 set point in the first set tiebreak before he produced a strong defensive display in the second set to blunt the attack of his big serving countryman. Nakashima stood deep behind the baseline when returning the first serve, but looked to attack off Isner's second delivery, timing the ball well to win 56% of points on the 37-year-old's second serve. Nakashima hit 26 winners and committed 15 unforced errors against Isner. The 21-year-old American can now look forward to a second-round matchup with red-hot Daniil Medvedev, the tournament's 5th seed and world number 6, who lifted his 3rd tour-level title of the season in Dubai on Saturday. Nakashima ended 2022 in perfect style, capturing the next-gen ATP Finals crown. He has struggled to find his best form this year, though earning just 2 tour-level wins. And with that, we conclude the evening's news at 10. In our top story, Tan Sri Muhyiddin to face multiple charges in court tomorrow. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for the updates at noon on TV2. Till then, this Lights Out. I'm Brendan Paul. Take care and good night.